Boston Bruins get a massive win in the Centennial Classic against the Montreal Canadiens, and Joe Sacco's master plan continues to break out. We're going to be talking about this game and what really set this team apart once again against the Montreal Canadiens to make this team 1-0 this century. And this was a fantastic game. What a moment for Bruins fans today. Just watching the whole event and leading up to this game, watching everybody, all the former Bruins, the legends come out onto the ice and 2 hours before game time was really just something special that we all knew the Bruins were not losing this game today. But before we get into all this news in the game here in this video, we know 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join me here on the channel. We are covering everything Boston Bruins here. And as I mentioned, this team is 1-0 in the century, the best win percentage, I guess we could say, in NHL history. And we're going to be talking about this game, breaking it down, and really going over what we saw. And as I mentioned, Joe Sacco's master plan continuing to evolve game by game. Now, in this game, we come off a bounce back one. And obviously, the Bruins didn't really see the continuation of Joe Sacco's master plan happen in their previous game, but reignited here today against the Montreal Canadiens with a lot of help, I will say, due to these Boston Bruins legends. But let's pull up the first one here, which is the hockey stat card. And I wanted to go over this, and as I'm sure you know, for those who are new here, for those who are old, we know that this chart is one of my favorites to be able to break down kind of what players are doing, what players are really stand out in a game that you might not actually think about apart from this stat card. But as you see, there's a lot of guys on this team today going 100%, and I'm not even really going to care too much about the Mason Lohrei, Andrew Peeke, very low in the team defense, but I'm going to focus on the top. Charlie McAvoy, Charlie Coyle, the two Charlies, 2 goals each in this game, and what a game they both played. Charlie McAvoy has kind of, I don't want to say struggled, but really hasn't seemed himself so far up into the point this season. And today was the real first time, I guess we could say that, I felt like Charlie McAvoy played like the Charlie McAvoy we've been all waiting for. And it has been quite some time. It's been a long wait, but at least we're seeing it now. And the focus has really been on McAvoy over the past few games, really, as the Bruins have found their offense once again under Joe Sacco. We're kind of straying away from the offensive struggles that this team has had, and there still are some there. As every team, no team is perfect in the NHL, but now that the Bruins actually seem to be shooting the puck more, shooting just kind of from anywhere is a big thing that they need to continue doing. They need to keep it focused on, and it seemingly happened, but we still haven't found, I guess, the Charlie McAvoy peak just yet. And it really starts to see like we're getting that back here in this season. And once again, as I mentioned, this game is going to be a certain help for that kind of factor for this Boston Bruins team as well. And I want to go up against the box score as well, kind of put those hand in hand as well. As I mentioned, Charlie McAvoy, Charlie Coyle, 2 goals each in a fantastic game for both of them, but also just a lot of other players on the team. David Pastrnak getting the monkey off his back, getting on the goal sheet once again. Pavel Zacha getting the assist in that. Cole Koepke 1-1 with the empty netter. Mark Kaslik, Morgan Geekie, Trent Frederic, Johnny Beecher. Who else we got here? Jordan Osterley. So many guys on this team really stepping up once again. Jeremy Swayman, staying strong in net, of course. Emil Heineman's goal, absolutely fantastic. That was a real nice one. I hate to give credit where credit is due, but you got to. Especially against the Canadiens. It does suck, but what a goal that was. There was real no chance that Swayman was stopping that. So I'm considering this really a 6-2 win. That goal was just something that no goalie could have stopped. But this team has really been evolving under Joe Sacco, as I mentioned. That's one thing that we've all been waiting for. We've all been kind of seeing happen in real time. Every game, we've starting to see more and more of Joe Sacco's coaching style really run through the gaps, kind of dissolve the Jim Montgomery coaching style out of Boston. And this is something that we're happy to see. Finally seeing some offense going from this team. And another big factor in the master plan, as I mentioned, has been putting the pucks on net. The Bruins have not been doing that this season at all until we have seen Joe Sacco with the head coach. And again, this game, 30 shots on goal to Montreal's 29, 26 hits in the 18, and 16 penalty minutes apiece. Most of that coming from Arber Xhekaj and Mark Kaslik. Mark Kaslik's like an absolute dog in this game. I absolutely love the way they played. And the shots on goal, especially on a goalie like Caden Primo, who is not good. A goalie who, even if they were good, 30 shots some are gonna go in. And that's what the Bruins need to focus on, is just getting the puck on net. And if this does continue in this pattern, in this way, the Bruins are gonna have a real fun time down the stretch against some of these goalies that really are not used to as many shots, used to maybe having a good team in front of them, but not very many shots. And I think that's one thing the Bruins are really trying to focus on, and that's kind of evident in the past few games as well. Even if they're not scoring goals, they're getting shots on net, and that's the main thing, to be able to get those goals to come in. Whether or not they go in on that shot doesn't really matter, because you have 3 scoring shot opportunities off that shot. So, as I mentioned, very, very nice to see. Very good that the Bruins are getting into this rhythm once again, and I don't want to forget the Centennial Classic players as well. I want to pull this up. The guys that were on the ice, the men and women that were here in this game, on the ice pregame. What a moment. You know, I'm sure the Bruins were in the locker room watching this. The Bruins were just kind of getting into the rhythm, getting, into this atmosphere. The atmosphere was different in this game. And I think that's one thing that the Bruins really wanted to ride off of. We saw the opening, I believe, now I'm not sure if this is the exact reason, but I believe they put 6 American players on the ice for the first face-off, kind of giving a nice applause to the 100-year, the original Boston Bruins team, one of the original American teams in the NHL, and especially the way that this whole kind of event led up to hours before the game, the Bruins on the bench, the staff on the bench, kind of everybody before the game. We saw how much this meant to this city, and I want to mention as well the drone footage from Twitter that was going, like a 3-minute video showing Bobby Orr in front of a statue, Willie O'Ree at the entrance of the arena, so much stuff like that. Really kind of tugged in the heartstrings of Bruins fans, and I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit teary near the beginning, watching all this stuff and watching them come on the ice, and it really just meant a lot to this team, a lot to the city, and as I mentioned, there's no way the Bruins were losing this game. But as we do progress further into the season, this is I don't want to say a new generation of Bruins, but this is just another kind of kickstarting point where the Bruins need to keep going, want to make the playoffs this year, and especially on the 100th year kind of celebration, I guess, even though that was sort of last year. It really does kind of all flow into last season, into this season, and we saw how we ended last season. We don't want to get there at this point here this season. We want to get to the playoffs. We want to make another big win, and this team, and I don't want to say they're not the roster. They are certainly the roster, but they have to do exactly what they've done in the past few games. Put the puck on net, get some dirty goals, play very, very solid defense. The goalies need to stay well, and as I mentioned, this team here in this game was a massive salute to the Bruins' history, the Bruins' past, with the coaches on the ice with the hats, on the bench with the hats, and the players on the ice with the new 100th year jerseys. Everything was kind of a big nod and a big applause to the legends who were on the ice before them, a big applause to the fans who were in the stands, maybe before some of them were even born. A whole thing like that is just really brings the city alive, brings a team alive, and that's what we saw here with the Bruins tonight. So, I didn't mention too much on the game, but I feel like the story of this game was really what led up to it before. So let me know what you think about this game. What did you think about the ceremony? How did you feel about all this kind of stuff? As you saw in the thumbnail, Pastrnak with the Cooper helmet on. It was just a day to celebrate for the Bruins, and now we get back to the real not exciting part, but the real dig deep kind of Boston Bruins hockey that we need to see, and that needs to continue here in the rest of this season. And next game, we're going to be heavy on it as well, and hopefully we continue off this one. Even though the Montreal Canadiens not great this season, we can see what teams we can beat with confidence, what the goal scoring is going to be doing, and kind of get a great idea of what the stretch is going to look like for the Boston Bruins here this season. So let me know what you think about it. As I mentioned, all of this, it was a very fun and exciting day for the Bruins, and watching on TV, I could only feel the atmosphere if I was in the stadium, absolute crazy stuff. But I do appreciate all of you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the ceremony. Obviously, it's one that we've all kind of been excited to see for the past few days and weeks as we've been leading up to it, but finally happened. It was a great one to see. But that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. But I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.